Guys, welcome back to the political landscape. In this video, I'll be giving you my updated 2024 House prediction for the month of September. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we're not going to go through all 435 districts, so we're just going to go to the competitive districts. So the first district that we're going to start off with is Alaska at large. And Mary Peltola, who's a Democrat, actually is the representative from Alaska, even though Alaska voted for Trump by 10 points in 2020. And I do think that this is going to be a narrow flip for the Republicans just because there's going to be two Democrats running in that race compared to one Republican. And because Alaska is a Republican state. And so for that reason, I have this as a narrow pickup for the Republicans. Our next seat to characterize is the 2nd District of Alabama. Now, this district was redistricted to become more Democratic, and so that's why we're going to give it a likely Democrat characterization. Our next one that we have is David Schweitzer, the Republican from Arizona's 1st District. I have him holding on by a very narrow margin, and the reason I have that is because I do see Trump doing a little better in Arizona than he did in 2020, and so for that reason, I have David Schweitzer holding on to that seat by a lean margin. The same with Juan Ciscomani. He's running in a Democratic district. It voted for Biden by 0.1%, but nevertheless, I do think that he's going to be able to hold on by a lean margin. Our next district that we have is John Duarte. And this district I actually have as a pickup for the Democrats. And the reason why I have it is because he's in a very, very Democratic district, a district that voted for Biden by 11 points. And while Republicans do outperform Trump in California, I don't think it's going to be able to outperform Trump enough. And so for that reason, I have it as a lean Democratic pickup. The next one that I'm going to have is California's 22nd District. I do believe that David Valadao will hold on in this district by a lean margin. He is a pretty popular incumbent, and he did well in the primary, so for that reason, I have him winning this by a lean margin. The next district that we're going to be looking at is California's 27th District. This again is going to be another lean win for Mike Garcia. Now, Mike Garcia won this district by 6.4%, and he's a very popular Republican, and he has been able to win in tight elections like in 2020 and 2022. And because he has proven that he can really win these tight elections, I do think he's going to be able to hold on by a lean margin. The next district that we have is California's 41st District. This district is a Republican district. It voted for Trump by 1.1%, and I do see Ken Calvert being able to hold on to this district by a lean margin. The next district that we have is Michelle Steele's district, California's 45th. I do think she's going to be able to handily win this district. She is a popular incumbent, and that will definitely help her in this race. Now, the next district that we're going to look at is California's 47th District. Now, Katie Porter was a really tough incumbent to beat in the 2022 election, and she narrowly held on even though it was supposed to be a red wave. Now, Katie Porter is retiring, and so that's going to make it a little more complicated for Democrats to defend this district. But because it's a very Democratic district, I do still see Democrats being able to hold on to this district by a lean margin. And then we have Colorado's 3rd District. So Lauren Boebert used to represent this district, but now she's going to run in Colorado's 4th. Now, Lauren Boebert was not a very popular incumbent, and because of her unpopularity, the Democrats almost picked up this district in the 2022 midterms. But since Jeff Hurd is going to be running in this district and not Lauren Boebert, I do see Republicans holding on to this district. I'm going to say by a likely margin. margin. So our next district that we have is Colorado 8th District. I do see Democrats holding on to this district by a lean margin. Colorado is a very left-trending state, and I do see that one going to the Democrats. Then Connecticut's 5th District, that's also going to be a lean margin for the Democrats. I probably do see George Logan outperforming Trump in the state, but I don't think it's going to be enough to put him over the top. Then we have Iowa's 1st District. This is definitely going to be a hold for the Republicans. And now we have Iowa's 3rd District. Now, if Iowa becomes very competitive in the 2024 election, I don't believe it will, but if it does, it could have an impact on this district, but I still have this as a lean Republican district for right now. And then these two districts are going to be lean Democrat holds, both in Illinois and in Indiana, as they're pretty comfortable Democrat districts. And then we have Jared Golden. He is running in a pretty Republican district, Maine 2nd. And while he is a pretty popular incumbent, I do think that Austin Theriault is going to be able to unseat him by a very slim margin, by a lean margin. But nevertheless, I do see that as a flip for the GOP. And then this is also going to be a flip for the GOP. Alyssa Slotkin, she was a very tough incumbent to beat, and she did really well in the 2022 midterms, but now since she's retiring to run for the U.S. Senate, I do think that Republicans will be able to pick up that seat, while Democrats will narrowly hold this seat by Dan Cody. Then John James, I do believe he will not have trouble keeping this district. He's a pretty popular incumbent. Then we have Angie Craig. I think she's also going to win by a lean margin. Ryan Zinke, I think he'll probably win by likely margin. And for this district, so North Carolina was redistricted to become more Republican, and so I do think that because North Carolina is going to be voting more Republican than 2020, I do see Republicans picking up that district. Now we're going to go to Don Bacon's district. Now you can see that Don Bacon is in a Democratic district, but he has won in Democratic districts before. You might look at 2020. His district actually voted for the Democratic candidate at the top of the ticket, but also split the ticket and voted for Don Bacon. And for that reason, I have this as a lean Republican seat. And then Tom Keene, he's acted pretty moderate in Congress, and he is pretty popular in his district, and for that reason, I have it as a lean Republican seat. Now we have really a rematch from 2022, Gabe Vasquez versus Yvette Herrell. I do believe that Herrell will be able to pick up this district as of right now, because I do see New Mexico voting a little right from 2020, and Yvette Herrell really only lost this district by a very small margin in 2022. I do believe that Yvette Herrell will be able to pick up this seat by a lean margin. And then Anthony D'Esposito, he really defied odds in 2022 by picking up the seat, but I do believe that Democrats will be able to take this back by a lean margin just because of how Democratic a seat it is. I do believe that Democrats will also pick up Michael Lawler's seat because it's a 10-point Democrat district, and also Pat Ryan will hold his seat in New York, while Mark Molinaro will keep his seat, and Brandon Williams will also keep his seat. Now, this is an interesting Ohio district. It's actually a Republican district, but you see Marcy Kaptur, a very, very popular Democrat, won by 13 points in 2022. And just because of how popular she is, I do see her winning this by a lean margin. Well, I do see Amelia Sykes losing this district because I do see Ohio shifting right, and it's a very slim Democrat margin right now, so I see Republicans picking up that district. Then we have Lori Chavez de Rima. She's in a very Democratic district, a 9-point vote for Biden in 2020. And so for that reason, I see Democrats picking up this district because of how Democratic it is. While I see Susan Wiles also losing her district because it's only a 0.6% Democrat district, and I do see Trump doing better in Pennsylvania than in 2020. And then I also see Matt Cartwright losing his seat in Pennsylvania, and Scott Perry holding his seat by a likely margin. Our next candidate that we see is Chris Deluzio. I don't think he's going to have too much trouble defending this seat. I think he's going to win this by a likely margin. Jen Kiggins, I do see her defending her seat in Virginia. Early vote for Republicans has shown promising in Virginia, and I do think that's going to help Jen Kiggins. And then Virginia's 7th district. Now, Abigail Spanberger is the incumbent, but she is retiring to run for governor in 2024. Now, I do think the Democrats would definitely be able to hold this district unless something drastic happened, so that would be another hold for the Democrats. And then Marie Perez, I do think Republicans will be able to pick up this district, and I do think that Derek Van Orden will be able to keep his district by a lean margin. So, there you have it. This is my updated prediction. Republicans will get 226 seats in the House to Democrats 209. If you enjoyed this video, if you did, make sure to smash the like button down below and subscribe. Comment your thoughts or suggestions in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.